Hi, my name is Noel, and I teach meditation as a universal practice. We've been exploring what the wisdom and religious traditions of the world say about meditation and its fruits. In this video, we will reflect briefly on the essence of what we have discovered together. So, here goes. In previous videos, we have considered how poetry and metaphor can give expression to that which cannot be adequately described in words, because it is an experience of the heart and not the mind. In the same way that poetry can be said to be language in service of the unsayable, meditation can be said to be a process, a practice in service of discovering our own inner spaciousness. It gives rise to creative possibility, to a holistic integration of mind, body, and spirit. And it awakens the heart to the deepest level of its being. It broadens our spiritual landscape and enriches our spiritual journey. The Hindu poet Nirmala, who lives in the United States, writes that truth is too simple for words. His poem of that name reads as follows: Truth is too simple for words. Before thought gets tangled up in nouns and verbs, there is a wordless sound, a deep, breathless sigh of overwhelming relief to find the end of fiction in this ordinary yet extraordinary moment, when words are recognized as words and truth is recognized as everything else. Poetry and metaphor have the capacity to give expression to what we apprehend in meditation without fully comprehending it. Poems can bring us to the brink of insight, to that threshold where emerging insights resonate with the heart. Thomas Aquinas spoke about contemplation as the simple enjoyment of truth. Isn't that a lovely expression and a lovely way of describing meditation? The simple enjoyment of the truth, the enjoyment of simply being. It is simply finding joy in what is. Meditation teaches us that truth doesn't have to be explained, it can simply be experienced. Truth isn't limited to a dogmatic or scientific explanation of reality. The truth is what is, in all its dimensions. And meditation awakens us mysteriously to this fact. That's why I say that meditation awakens the heart, because it gives rise to awareness, to a deep consciousness which transcends this material domain. Now, this series of videos is presented under the title Meditation Awakens the Heart, because that is how meditation works. It places the mind in the heart, and slowly but surely, we begin to appreciate with the heart and the mind that not everything can be known intellectually. Not everything can be expressed adequately in words. When we are faithful to the discipline of meditation as a regular practice, we find that it mysteriously orients us towards truth. And even though hardly any one session of meditation will be totally silent and peaceful, we are nonetheless drawn to return again and again to the practice. It's common across the diverse traditions of meditation to recommend that regular practice for adults means that they meditate twice a day for a period of 20 to 30 minutes each time. By comparison, children are encouraged to meditate for 1 minute per year of their age, ideally every day and twice if possible. Meditation teaches us that energy flows where attention goes. When we bring our attention to our intention to let go of all tension, of all effort, to let go of doing, of all thought, it is then that we begin to discern the presence of deep spirit within. We apprehend this through the heart, not through the mind. It is experiential, not intellectual knowledge. As John Main often said, meditation moves the center of gravity of our consciousness from the head to the heart. As we remain faithful to our twice daily practice of meditation, we find we are becoming ever more deeply rooted in the ground of being. And faithfulness to our practice is important, because it is only when your roots are deep that your fruits can be abundant. Throughout this series of talks, we have learned that a core fruit of meditation is that it mysteriously changes our way of seeing reality. Meditation opens us up to a whole new dimension of our being, as it centers our doing in our being. As we meditate, we call up that which is best and deepest in ourselves. Meditation changes our understanding of who we really are at the deepest level of our being. We learn we can distinguish our true self from the false egoic self. Meditation enables us to let go of the false self and embrace the true self. Meditation makes us keenly aware that we interpret every encounter through our conditioning, which makes our regular actions biased and inaccurate. But meditation gives rise to great clarity of perception, so that we find ourselves beginning to respond in life as every situation calls for, rather than reacting out of our unconscious conditioning. Meditation teaches us, as Teilhard de Chardin is attributed as saying, that while we think of ourselves as human beings on a spiritual journey, we are in fact spiritual beings on a human journey. We are human beings, not human doings. We come to appreciate that in the bigger scheme of things, the universe is not asking us to do something. Instead, it is asking us to be something. Through meditation, each of us discovers, as Saint Catherine of Genoa once said, that our deepest me is God. And that is deeply meaningful and changes how we live our lives. I've been thinking recently about the twin meanings of the word immaterial. It's one of those words in the English language which can point to something and yet to its opposite at the same time. On the one hand, immaterial simply means not consisting of matter, not made of material. So we might describe the human spirit as immaterial. On the other hand, the more common use of the word immaterial points towards something inconsequential, something that doesn't matter, as for example in the phrase, whether or not he admits he did it is immaterial, because we have the evidence that proves it. In that sense, spirit is not immaterial, but quite the opposite. It is essential. Ultimately, that is the deep fruit of Christian meditation, indeed of all meditation. We learn to honor our spiritual nature, to appreciate that we inter-are, and we begin to live our lives from that understanding, from that perspective, from that deep place within, and that changes everything. One might say that secular meditation, such as mindfulness, is more about self-care, while Christian meditation and other faith-based meditations are about true self-care, realizing that our true selves are intimately connected and shattering the illusion that we are separate from one another. The title of this series of videos and of this final video in the series is Meditation Awakens the Heart. There is a verse in the Upanishads which gives voice to this beautifully. It reads as follows: "At the center of the castle of Brahman, the human body, is the heart. And in the deepest place of the heart, there is a flame the size of a thumb. And in that tiny space are all the worlds, the whole universe, everything that is." Christians name this the universal Christ. I hope you have enjoyed these videos and that you have learned something about meditation and about yourself. And now, to discover your true self deep within, I invite you now to spend the next 20 minutes in the stillness and silence of meditation. And I hope you will find the time every day to do just that, and ideally twice a day.